So, hello, Esra.
Hello,
Nice to see you today.
Yeah, me too.
I'm happy to discuss with you again about our tools in the cost action, the virtual mobilities. You are the grantee this year to one of virtual mobilities, one of the mobilities of our action. And the title of your grant is The Role of the FinTech in Cashless Economy and Green Growth. So I would kindly ask you to give us a few details about what is your VMG about and what are the main objectives that you are trying to achieve, and also, if possible, give us a few details about how you plan to disseminate the results with our network.
Thank you, Vasil. My virtual mobility grant name is The Role of FinTech in Cashless Economy and Green Growth. It has started in 1st of August, and it will be finalized at the end of October. Actually, it has two different stages. The first stage, we will have an analysis of panel data, and in this panel data, actually, we aim to analyze the impact of cashless economy on green growth, and it will be applied to selected countries in the years between 2012 and 2019. These selected countries are, if I mention here, Argentina, Australia, Brazil, South Africa, Sweden, Switzerland, Japan, Korea, Mexico, Russia, UK, Turkey. And also this analysis actually wants to find relationship between FinTech, cashless economy, and green growth. And the second stage of the virtual mobility grant includes a survey. This survey is about environmental awareness. You know, environmental awareness is very important in terms of university students, and it will be run to university students and the staff of the universities. Actually, there are selected countries for these cost-FinAI actions. Which countries? Kosovo, Albania, Turkey, Egypt, Iceland, and France. Diversity groups members, actually, I have selected for this survey. And this survey is actually very short, 20 questions. And these questions, like, for example, how much water do you use in a morning, for example, or do you know green fintech or green finance? Do you know anything about sustainable development goals? Or do you know about, for example, if you go to your university by cycling or car? Actually, it wants to collect data, how the attitude of the environment, and is there any awareness of environment and literacy in environment. So the end of the virtual mobility grant, I will collect this data, and I will actually make robust statistical tests. And in a report, I want to have a scientific article end of this. Also, I will present all the results in the working groups, and next week we will have a diversity group meeting in Albania. Also, I will have an opportunity to make results presentation in Albania.
Thank you, Esra, for all these details, for the description of your grant. And now I would like to go a little bit more technical, and if possible, please give us more details about the role, based on your research, so the role of the FinTech in the cashless economy.
Yes, actually, FinTech financial technologies, if we look at the meaning, combining finance and technology, but it can also enhance sustainable development goals, because planet, profits, and people can be together with FinTech. Actually, if we look at the cashless economy or withdrawal of paper money, it will reduce transaction costs. It will also stimulate economic growth, and it will save planets, because if we have a more cashless economy, it means that we will use less money, paper money, physical money, and we will not need to cut trees, and we will save environment, and also it will also enhance contactless or cashless economy, more digital payments, digital wallets, NFC technologies, and FinTech will contribute it. And cashless or contactless economy, became more popular after COVID-19. And if you look at the Europe, there are disparities, difficulties between countries. For example, Germany, very, very traditional economy, and it is more based on cash. But if you look at the Scandinavian economies like Finland, Norway, and Sweden, they are using more digital money, and they use cash, more contactless or cashless money, 80%. Mobile payments are very popular in Sweden, and it is percentage 80%. So there are differences and disparities between Europe countries and around the world. Also China, also very digital country in terms of fintech. Apple Pay, Alipay and WeChat Pay, actually billion of users they have totally. So mobile payment and digital wallets are very good instruments for the fintech or cashless economy. And also there are millions of unbanked people. If these unbanked people access to finance with fintech companies, it will also increase and enhance economic growth. And one of the green growth goals are increasing financial literacy, financial inclusion, and reducing poverty. If women or poor people or elder people can access with fintech companies to finance and transaction, and if they reduce transaction costs, it will be more having well-being, and it will increase GDP per capita.
Thank you very much, Esra, for these details about the cashless economy and about how it's distributed across Europe, and also you've mentioned China. And now I would go from the cashless economy to the green growth, the other key term of your grant. So what can you tell us about green growth? Could you explain what this green growth means? Could you provide us with some examples or more details about the topic?
Yes, if you look at the growth, at first maybe we can define what is the growth. Growth, you mean in economics. Very basically, we explain accumulating labor and capital and increasing the total GDP. But if we accumulating wealth, and if we accumulate the amount of labor and capital, and also if we save the planet, we will say it is green growth. Actually, if you look at the OECD, there is a definition, very good definition for green growth. It means that fostering economic growth and development while ensuring the natural assets. Actually, it will not damage the environment. Less carbon economy, low carbon economy, and it will enhance sustainable development goals. Actually, people only consider, when they think about green growth, just only environment. Also, it includes social inclusion, financial inclusion, and reducing poverty, and increasing well-being. How can increase well-being? With finance? It's very important. If people can access to finance, if people can actually buy food, or if they have expenses on education or culture, they will be happy. Well-being is very important. So fintech will help people to buy these necessary goods or services. Actually, green growth is very important. It means that production efficiency, more actually sustainable resources in energy it will use, and it will also less damage to the environment. If you look at these green growth indicators, there are different chapters, there are different titles, indicators. The first is, as I mentioned, energy efficiency, and also reducing poverty, less carbon, low carbon economy, blah, blah, blah. And also, if you look at the green growth examples, for example, there are very good companies. They are decreasing using energy. For example, in Turkey, Arçelik, very good at decreasing carbon dioxide. Or there are some companies like in Europe, these companies, green fintech as well as, they are, for example, using some mobile application. They are calculating your carbon footprint, and they are calculating how do you, for example, your budget, and how do you spend on green or brown expenses. So there are many different companies, and there are different examples for green growth. But in the world, if you look at the North European countries like Norway, Finland, and Sweden, Denmark, they are very good at also green technologies, solar technologies, or water technologies, increasing efficiency, or recycling technologies. Actually, around the world, we must separate these technologies. Asia, Africa, they need these technologies, but at first, how can these countries developing countries like Turkey, Romania, Albania, how can they actually invest on green technologies? They need money. So FinTech will, I think, improve this, and they will have good tools to improve green growth and green payments, green finance.
Thank you very much, Esra, for the details regarding the green growth and for all these examples. And now, finally, I would connect the two topics that you have mentioned. So the FinTech, cashless economy, and green growth. So basically, based on your study, what are the results that you've obtained? So what's the relationship between the green growth and cashless economy? What are your main results?
Okay, actually, we are running now our survey, but at first I will talk about the panel data analysis. And panel data analysis, actually, I use variables. One of them is the dependent variable, is GDP per capita. Independent variables are banknotes and coins in circulation, number of credit cards for inhabitants, also the other independent variable. And the third independent variable is carbon dioxide productivity. As I mentioned, the first of this podcast, I have used the panel data analysis, and I have selected countries. Actually, if you look at these empirical findings, very correlated with facts. Actually, producing coins and paper money leads to carbon dioxide emissions. So it will affect negatively GDP per capita. But using digital payments and more plastic cards, ATM cards, debit cards, and also if they are digital wallets, actually it will better for environment. And when people prefer digital payments, they will not carry the cash and coins, and so it will affect positively GDP per capita. And carbon dioxide efficiency also positively affects GDP per capita. As a finally, in this study, we can say cashless economy supports green growth and enables us to manage inflation better. Actually, when the countries or economies move to cashless economy, actually it will give economic administration more flexibility during the financial crisis, because also governments, incentives cashless economy, because when the economy is more cashless, it means that they will collect more taxes and they will collect more data, and money laundering or fraudulent transactions will be prevented with cashless economy. Physical money includes more black economy, but if you look at the digital payments and digital transactions, it has recordings, data, and so it means that more beneficial for governments. I mean that policies, politicians and economies must invest on morely cashless economy. As well as after the COVID-19, we see its importance. And if you look at the Turkish banking statistics, it has increased. Contactless or cashless payments has increased 40% after COVID-19, and it is the same all around the world. FinTech will be very good, I think, in years for this green cashless economy. And if you look at the survey preliminary results, as I mentioned, it is very, actually we have started this month survey, and survey we had only 45 response, and according to this response, they have only actually 26% of people have information about green fintech, ESG, or green finance. It means that awareness of green finance and green fintech is very low, like in these participants. And also, if you look at the survey results, I will tell about like water efficiency or electronic product models. Actually, 71% of them use water efficiency tools. Actually, it has very mixed picture. As I mentioned, it didn't finalize the survey, but it shows us we need more green projects to increase the awareness of environment and awareness of green fintech, green finance. Because if you look at this survey, many of them are university students or university staff, and if they use more sustainable development goals or recycling, water efficiency, or if they awareness of climate change and green finance, I think they will maybe have opportunities to have startups, starting up startups, funding startups like this. Actually, maybe if we make more projects about green fintech, green finance, and green growth, it will better for our public.
Thank you very much, Esra, for these details and for running us through this connection between fintechs, cashless economy, and the green growth. And I hope that our colleagues will be very interested in seeing not only this video, but also the report that you will create at the end of your grant, based also on the final results of the survey. So thank you for today.
Thank you, Vasil, for this opportunity having a podcast. And also, I hope this podcast will have opportunity to followers and listeners to understand about these topics. Thank you very much. Great, thanks.
Thank you.